The word bridge, I know that there are vowels. I see there are I and E, and so there are two vowels in the word bridge. How many consonants? Consonants. There are 4 consonants. Let me check again. They have B, R, D, and G. So there are 4 consonants. So good. And they said that 3 letters are selected without replacement. Without replacement is key. So first, we have the word bridge right here. So I have the word bridge right here. So start out with the word bridge. You start out with the word bridge, and then from that, you're going to select either a vowel or you're going to select a consonant. All right. Let me write V for vowel and C for consonant. The probability of you getting a vowel is 2/6, and the probability of you getting a consonant is 4/6. All right. Now, after you choose your first letter, so this is choosing your first letter, I'll put 1 up here to choose 1. You have 5 letters left back. So now after you choose a vowel, you can either choose another vowel or you can choose now a consonant. But if you choose a vowel, remember a 5 letter now left back. And if you did choose a vowel first, you only have 1 vowel you can choose from. Or if you choose a consonant after you choose a vowel, then you only can have, what is this, consonant out of 5 is 4. Now let's say you choose the first 2 vowels, then no vowel now left back. On the third try, you wouldn't have any vowel. So this would be 0 for vowel, and this would be 1 for consonant. Now let's say they choose a vowel or a consonant here. If you choose vowel, then consonant, then let's say you choose a vowel now, it would be, probability would be 1/4. Or if you choose a consonant here, it would be 3/4. All right. Now let's say from the get-go, you did choose either now. I don't want these to be in clash with each other, so I'm going to extend this line a little down more. So let's say I choose vowel, consonant. If you choose a consonant first, then you have 5 letters left back. And if you choose a consonant, you'd have 3 consonants left. And then if you choose consonant, then vowel, you choose 1 out of the 2 vowel to have 1 out of consonant and consonant. So you have 5 letters. Wait, here we make a mistake. It should be 2 vowel out of 5. Then here now you go again. If you choose a vowel out of these 2, you're left back with 1/4 vowel. All right. And if you choose a consonant right here, then you would choose 3. You'd have 3/4. Now, if you choose consonant, then consonant, then the chance of you getting a vowel now would be 2/4. And then the chance of you getting a consonant here is also 2/4. And this is a tree diagram. They're giving away 7 marks for this easy thing. Nice and easy. Using a tree diagram, show all possible outcomes. We did that. And that's part A, soft. It didn't even ask a follow-up question. So done with Seems like we're finished with this part. Now we go to part B. Part B says the augmented matrix is given by A. All right, A is that, and it says by reducing the augmented matrix to echelon form, determine whether or not the system of linear equation is consistent. So let's determine if the system is consistent. So they give us this augmented matrix. 1, 1, minus 1, augment 1, then I have 2 here, and I have 3 here. This is so easy. Then I have minus 5, 1, and 1, and I have 1, minus 5, and 3. Now, in order to simplify this now, this augmented matrix, all we need to remember is we need to row reduce. All right, we need to row reduce. So in order to row reduce it, we need to get zeros in these two rows. All right. We need to get zeros here. So what we're going to do is we're going to row reduce it, and we're going to let row 2 going to become 5 row 1 plus row 2, 5 row 1 plus row 2, and then we can make row 3 be row 1 minus row 3. Row 3 is going to be row 1 minus row 3. So let's do that. So remember, the first row remains the same, 1, 1, minus 1, 1. So let's look at what happened now. Let's change the color. 5 times 1 is 5 plus minus 5 is 0. Then 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. Then 5 times minus 1 is minus 5 plus 1 is 4. Then 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Then row 1 minus row 3, 1 minus 1 is 0. Then 1 minus minus 5 is 6. Then minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. And then 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So that's what we get right here. Now we need to reduce this some more by using row 2 to get a 0 in row 3. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to reduce this one more time. And what we're going to get is we keep row 1 to be the same, 1, 1, minus 1, 1. We keep row 2 to be the same now, 0, 6, 4, 7. And then row 3, we're going to let row 3 be equal to row 2 minus row 3. So row 2 minus row 3, that is going to give us, let's change the color and do it. 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 minus 6 is 0. 4 minus minus 4 is 8. And 7 minus minus 2, 7 minus minus 2 is 9. And so what can we conclude? We can conclude the system is consistent. Yes. All right, the system is consistent. Now, the only thing I want to do is just recap to make sure we didn't make any calculation error. 5 of this plus this is 0. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 row 1. 5 row 1 is minus 5. Minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. We made a mistake. Oh no. Row 2. 5 of row 1. 5 of this plus this is 0. 5 of 1 plus this is 6. 5 of this is minus 5. Minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. This should have been minus 4. 5 of this is 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus minus 5 is 6. Minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So this should have been minus. This should have been minus. And so then it is minus 4 minus minus 4. Minus 4 minus minus 4. And that's 0. So this should be 0. So you see how this is important? We don't make any mistake. We made a mistake right here. And so this is 0. This is 0. And then 7 minus minus 2 is 9. And so the system is actually inconsistent. So hence the system is inconsistent. System is inconsistent. All right? Because you can't have, why is it inconsistent? You might ask me, sir, why is the system inconsistent? The system is inconsistent because you can't have 0, 0, 0. All right? The system is inconsistent because we cannot have 0, 0, 0 equal 9. That's why the system is inconsistent, because this last statement is pretty much saying 0x plus 0y plus 0z equal 9. How nothing for equal 9? That don't make no sense. And so the system is inconsistent. Nice and easy. Now, the next part of the question says, we replace the third row with 1 minus 5, 5, 3. So if we replace the third row with 1 minus 5, 3, what we're going to get is, let's slowly do that. So this last row, we're going to replace it with 1. So just change the 3 to a 5 right here. So we're going to get 1 minus 5, 5, then 3. Let's see if it's going to give us a unique solution now. All right. So let's see if it's going to give us a unique solution. So what we're going to get is row 2. We already know what row 2 is going to be equal to. All right, we're going to have 1, 1, minus 1, 1. Row 2 is 5, row 1 plus row 2. So we know that we're going to get 0, 6, minus 4, then 7. But now what's going to be row 3? Row 3 is now going to be row 1 minus row 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus minus 5 is 6. Minus 1 minus 5 is minus 6. Then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. All right. So that's what we get now. So then now let's look at this now. Now we need to use row 2 to get 0 in row 3. All right. So we need to get a 0 now in row 3. To get a 0 in row 3, it's going to be row 2 plus row 3, or row 2 minus row 3. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 minus 6 is 0. Minus 4 minus minus 6 is 2. And then what we're saying is minus 4 minus minus 6. Yes, that's 2. Then 7 minus minus 2 is 9. So yes. So now this has a unique solution. So we can conclude, yes, it has a unique solution. It has a unique solution because that is saying 0x plus 0y plus 0z is equal to 9. Not 0z plus 2z is equal to 9. And so z is 4.5. So it has a unique solution. So yes, it has a unique solution now. Soft. So that's that. We're almost finished. Now we go to part C. Part C says a country X has 3 airports, A, B, and C. The percentage of travelers that use airport A is 30. D, the percentage of travelers that use airport is 45, 30, and 25. Given that a traveler has a weapon in his or her possession, the probability of being caught is 0.7, 0.9, and 0.84 for each airport respectively. So I like to use a tree diagram. You don't have to, but I like to. So you have 3 airports. It's either you travel from airport A, or you travel from airport B, or you travel from airport C. 3 airport, you choose which one you want to travel with. Airport A, airport B, airport C. Most passengers tend to go with airport A because 0.45, that's 45%. 30% go with airport B and 25% go with airport C. All right. Now, if you go with airport A, it says chances of you getting caught at airport A is 0.7. So the chance of you going to airport A and getting caught, so I'm going to use D for getting caught. Chances of you getting caught, let me write D here, and this is D prime mean not caught. So chances of you getting caught at airport A with a weapon is 0.7. So the chance of you not getting caught at airport A is 0.3. Then the chance of you getting caught at airport B with a weapon is 0.9. So pretty much they're telling you once you have a weapon, 90% of the time you get caught. So if you have a weapon, don't go to airport B because you're going to get caught 90% of the time. And that means you're getting banned. You can't go, you can't leave the country no more. Airport C, there's an 85% chance you get caught. So pretty much the best airport where you can get with is airport A, and 70% of people get caught. So more than likely you have to really skill to get away. I think I could get away. I'm just kidding. But that's why I figure that is why so much people go to airport A, because it have the lowest probability of getting caught with a weapon. All right, so this is a tree diagram. Okay, why did I create a tree diagram? I have no idea, but I just like to have a tree diagram. It helped me with calculations sometimes. It says, what is the probability that a traveler using an airport in country X is caught with a weapon? So they want the probability of you getting caught with a weapon. Now I see why I use the tree diagram. The probability of you being caught with the weapon is equal to the probability of you getting caught at airport A. The probability of you getting caught at airport A is going to be 0.45 times 0.7. It's going to be equal to the probability of A times the probability of you getting caught at airport A. So it's 0.45 times 0.7 plus the probability of you using airport B and getting caught at B, which is 0.3 times 0.9 plus the probability of you getting caught at C, given that you went to airport C, which is 0.25 times 0.85. That's the probability of you getting caught. So when you work that out, that will give you the probability of you getting caught with the weapon, which is 0.45 times 0.7 plus 0.3 times 0.9 plus 0.25 times 0.85. That's 0.795. There's a high probability of you getting caught, 0.975. Now let's say it didn't create a tree diagram. The alternate method you could do it is using what's known as total law of probability, right? Because up here, so what they were giving you is they give you the probability of A, the probability of going to airport A, they told us was 0.45. They told us the probability of going to airport B and the probability of going to airport B, they told us that was 0.3. And then the probability of going to airport C, they told us that is 0.25. All right. Now, over here, so now is a conditional probability. The probability of you getting caught, given that you were at airport A. So given that you went to airport A, the probability of you getting caught is 0.7. Then the probability of you getting caught, given that you went to airport B, was 0.9. The tree diagram is very good, but also if you know the formulas, it's very good. It's very good either way. And then the probability of you getting caught, given that you went to airport C, is equal to 0.85. All right. And so the OR method, this is the OR method. The OR method would be to do this. You could say that the probability of getting caught D using total laws of probability is equal to the probability of A is equal to the probability of A, the probability of D given A times the probability of A plus the probability of D given B, D given B times the probability of B plus the probability of D given C, probability of D given C times the probability of C. This is total law of probability, all right, which we should know very easy. All right, this is just total law of probability. And this is really just the probability of A intersect D. This is the probability of B intersect D. This is just the probability of C intersect D. All right. So you could use the formula and you're going to get the same 0.7975. All right. That's the OR method. Let's look at the final part now. It says, on a particular day, a traveler was caught carrying a weapon at airport in country X. What is the probability that the traveler used airport C? On a particular day, a traveler was caught carrying a weapon. So they're saying, given that he was caught on a particular day, given that he was caught and he was coming from airport C. All right. So it says, given that he was caught. So this is what they're asking. Let's write it down now. So part 2 of this question. Part 2 is saying, given that he was caught, means given that he was caught, given is D, what is the probability he was caught at C? They're asking you for the probability of C given D. The probability of C given D is the probability of C intersect D over the probability of D. Right? Now the probability of C intersect D is going to be equal to Probability of C intersect D is right here. It's 0.25 times 0.85. 0.25 times 0.85 divided by the probability of D. The probability of D, which you just work out, is 0.7975. 0.7975. So you put all of this in a calculator and it tells you the probability that you get caught with a weapon, definitely at airport C. 0.75 times 0.85 divided by 0.7975 is 0.266. All right, that's the chance of you getting caught at airport C. Nice. That takes care of question 5. So now we have the final question to do, and then we'll finish. Final question. Question 6. Question 6, let's go ahead. Now let's look at question 6. It says, obtain the general solution of the differential equation cosine x dy dx plus y sine x equal to 2x cos square x. So first thing, when you're doing differential equation, you need to identify which one you have. This looks like a first order. So if you divide through by cosine x, you're going to get dy by dx. I divide through by cos x to get dy by dx plus sine x over cos x is tan x. So I get tan x. And all of tan x is being multiplied by y. And that's equal to 2x times cos square x over cos x. Cos square over cos x is cos. And so I just be left back with 2x cos x. So I'm left back with 2x cos x. All right, nice and easy. Now, after you have it in this form now, we know that we need to find our general solution. To find the general solution of this, step 1, find your integrating factor. Your integrating factor I is equal to e to the integral of tan x. But when you integrate tan x, what do you get? You get ln sec. The integral of tan x is ln sec, so you get e to the ln sec x. You get e to the ln sec x. But e to the ln cancel each other and say integrating factor is sec x. All right? Now you write down your general solution. Your general solution, I like to call it GS. Your general solution is y times your integrating factor I. Y times your integrating factor I, and it's equal to the integral of your function f of x times the integrating factor I. So it's equal to your integral f of x times your function I. All right, nice and easy. So now this is what we're going to work out. Now y times your integrating factor, it's going to be y sec x. Instead of saying y sec x, remember sec x is really 1 over cos x. I'm going to write it as y over cos x because remember sec x is 1 over cos x. Sec x is 1 over cos x. So this is y over cos x is equal to the integral of your f of x is this, 2x cos x. Now 2x cos x over cos x. 2x cos x over cos x is just 2x. So you're just integrating 2x. When you integrate 2x, you get x squared. You integrate that, you just get x squared plus some constant c. And so you have y over cos x is equal to x squared plus c. So if you multiply through by y, your general solution is going to be y is equal to multiply through by cos x. So y is x squared cos x plus c cos x. That's your general solution. Nice and easy, soft. That's your answer, soft, with a capital T. That takes care of part one. Then now, they say, given that y is the root of 15 over 2 pi square over 32 when x is pi by 4, find the constant of integration. So they give you that x is equal to pi by 4. And so what I want you to do is substitute x as pi by 4 here. All right. And y is, what you're getting for y is 15 root 2. Y is 15 root 2 over 32. 15 root 2 over 32 pi square. All right. And that's equal to x squared cos x. X squared is going to be pi by 4 square. There's no pi by 4 square times the cos of pi by 4. The cos of pi by 4, when you put x as pi by 4, the cos of pi by 4 is root 2 over 2. And why did it disappear so far? You have to go way back. And we have the cos of, what happened? Cos of pi by 4, the cos of pi by 4 is root 2 over 2. Cos of pi by 4, root 2 over 2, plus c times the cos of x. But the cos of x, as I said, is root 2 over 2. So this is now root 2 over 2c. Root 2 over 2 times c. And we're going to have to work out what c is. Oh no. So this is going to work out to be pi squared. Now 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to write it as a common denominator of 8. And this becomes pi square root 2 in the numerator. Or some people write root 2 pi square. Root 2 pi square plus root 2c over 2. Root 2c over 2. Now, I notice that the denominator over here is 32. So I'm going to join it as one fraction to make the denominator here 32. 8 into 32 goes 4 times. So this becomes 4 root 2 pi square. 4 root 2 pi square plus 2 into 32 goes 16 times. So this becomes plus 16 root 2 times c. Now, whenever the denominators are the same, we can equate the numerators. So we have 15 root 2 pi square. 15 root 2 pi square over 32. Now that their numerators are the same, we can equate the numerators. Equating the numerators, we're going to get 15 root 2 pi square is equal to 4 root 2 pi square plus 16 root 2c plus 16 root 2 times c. So bring over 4 root 2, 15 root 2 minus 4 root 2, that is 11 root 2 pi square. So 11 root 2 pi square is equal to 16 root 2c And so the root 2 here cancel the root 2 here. Then we divide through by 16, and so C is equal to 11 pi square. C is equal to 11 pi square over 16. That is C, 11 pi square over 16. Nice and easy, soft, with a capital T, soft. Nice. So C is equal to 11 pi square over 16. So that's the constant. Now that we get the constant, let's continue. Part B, second order differential equation. It says the general solution of the differential equation is y is equal to a complementary function plus a particular integral. Calculate the roots of the auxiliary equation. So let's do this. So part A is looking nice and easy. So we have lambda square plus 2 lambda square plus 2 lambda plus 5 is equal to 0. All right. They want us to find the roots. To find its roots, can you factorize it? Doesn't look that way. So no, it cannot be factorized. So you're going to just use a quadratic formula. So lambda is equal to minus b, which is minus 2, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4ac, which is minus 4 times 5, which is minus 20, over 2a, which is 2. So finding the auxiliary equation, or solving the roots of the auxiliary equation, we're getting minus 2 plus or minus, no, 4 minus 6, 20 is the negative 16, and the square root of negative 16 is 4i. So that's 4i over 2. And so in general, what we're getting is lambda is equal to minus 2 over 2, that's minus 1, plus 2i, that's one possibility, or lambda is equal to minus 1 minus 2i. Those are the two possibilities. Nice and easy. Now it says, hence, obtain the complementary function of the general solution of, hence obtain the complementary function of the general solution of y double prime plus 2y prime plus 5y. So to find the solution now, so lambda is equal to this or lambda equal this. To find the general solution, it's going to be, this is the general solution. So I'm going to write GS. GS, or let me write CF. It's really complementary function. So it's CF. Let's call it CF. CF, the complementary function, is given by e to the, this is now minus, so it's going to be e to the minus x in bracket a cosine 2x plus b sine 2x. That is now the complementary function. All right. That's the complementary function, soft. Nice. This is a complementary function. Now let's see what they ask next now. They say, given that the particular integral is in the form a cos 2t plus b sine 2t, show that a is minus 16 over 7 and b is 4 over 17. So we're going to do this now. So to show this part now, you have They're telling you that the particular integral is in this form, up and up of t Why am I saying x? This question had nothing to do with x, it was t. My apologies. This was t, so this should have been t here, not x. We're so used to x that we always write in x. These are t. So used to writing x that do it all the time. It's t. Okay. So upt is equal to a cos 2x, a cos 2t plus b sine 2t. Now the first thing that you need to do is differentiate this twice. So you're going to find up prime. Up prime is going to be equal to, when I differentiate cos, I get minus sine. So you get minus 2 sine A minus 2 sine A minus 2 sine A. When I differentiate sine, when I differentiate cos, I get minus sine. So it's minus 2 sine A sine 2t plus, when I differentiate sine now, I get cos. I differentiate sine 2t, I'm going to get 2b cos 2t. So I differentiated it once, now I need to differentiate it again. Differentiating it again, I get up double prime is equal to differentiating it again. When I differentiating sine, I get cos, so I get minus 4a sine minus 4a sine 2t. That's sine. Why do I keep writing sine? Differentiate sine, you get cos, cosine, cos 2t. Then here now, when I differentiate cos, I get minus sine, so this is supposed to become a minus. I differentiate cos, I get minus sine, so I get minus 4b sine 2t. Minus 4b sine 2t. Right? Now, all of this is equal to 4 sine 2t. All of this is equal to the particular integral of 4 sine 2t. 4 sine 2t. That's what all of this is equal to, 4 sine 2t. All right? Now that all of this is equal to this, we can use this and solve for a and b. Now you're wondering, where did this 4 sine 2t come from? Look at the question. Remember, it said that the general solution of the differential equation is y double prime plus 2y prime plus 5y is 4 sine 2t. All right? So let me not even write it like that then. So what I want you to think of this as your y. Let me put it in red. Think of this as a y. Think of this as a y prime. Think of this as a y double prime. All right, so you're going to go back to the general equation. It said that y double prime plus 2y prime. Want to make sure you all are following, so I won't leave out any steps. Plus 2y prime plus 5 is equal to 4 sine 2t. Now that this is what we have, you're going to replace y double prime right here. Replace y double prime with all of this. And I can't bother to write out all of that, so I'm just going to type it. Y double prime is minus 4a cos 2t minus 4b sine 2t plus 2y prime is going to be 2 times this plus 2 times this is going to be plus minus 4a sine 2t plus 2 times 2 is 4b. So you get 4b cos 2t plus 5y plus 5y. So it's going to be plus 5 times this plus 5a plus 5a cos 2t plus 5b sine 2t, and that is equal to 4 sine 2t. So I left off the y right here. I'm going to put the y, 5y. Okay. So now from this, now what are we going to do? Guys, I want you to really realize that what this is saying is there is absolutely no cosine 2t here. So write this as 0 cosine 2t. All right. If you're to write this as 0 cosine 2t, then that means the minus 4 cos 2t, the 4b cos 2t, the 5 cos 2t must equal 0. And that means that everything else, the minus 4b sine 2t minus 4a plus 5b must equal 4 sine t. So let's set up those equations. Now guys, minus 4b and 5b, that just leave b. Minus 4b plus 5b, that just leave b sine t. That just leave b sine 2t minus 4a sine t, and that's equal to 4 sine 2t. From this equation, if we divide through by sine 2t, we're going to get b minus 4a is equal to 4. All right, if we divide through. Now let's look at the next equation now, guys. The next equation, you have minus 4a and 5a that leave a cos 2t. Then you have plus 4b plus 4b cos 2t, and that's equal to 0. So if we divide through by cos 2t, you have a plus 4b is equal to 0. Nice. So guys, we're solving these two equations for a and b now. So let's make b the subject from here. From this equation, if we make b the subject, we're getting b is equal to 4 plus 4a. b is equal to 4 plus 4a. And if b is equal to 4 plus 4a, let's substitute that, guys, into this equation. So it's going to be a plus 4b, and b is 4 plus 4a. A is 4 plus 4a, and this is equal to 0. So what that is telling us then is, what this is giving us is 4 times 4 is 16, and 1a and 4a, that is 17a. I want to make sure that's right. 16a plus a is 17a equals 0. All right. And so if you transpose this, you're going to see that a is equal to minus 16 over 17. All right. Nice. Then now we need to find b. Finding b now, b is 4 plus 4a right here. And so b is going to work out to be equal to 4 plus 4 times minus 16 over 17, which is equal to We add that, we get 4 over 17. So we can conclude, hence A is equal to minus 16 over 17, and B is equal to 4 over 17. My gosh, they are cruel. Only 3 marks to do all of this. But that is wicked. Now, the final part of the question says, given that y naught of 0 is 0.04 and y double prime of 0 is 0, obtain the general solution. So you want to find the general solution. So guys, remember, we pretty much have the general solution, but now we want to find, we really want to find the specific solution of the equation. Because now this, remember, the specific solution of the equation is going to be y is equal to the complementary function. The complementary function that we found is e to the minus t, e to the minus t into a cos 2t, a cos 2t plus b sine 2t, a cos 2t plus b sine 2t plus the particular integral. Now the particular integral that we found, remember the particular integral is a cos 2t, but we found this a, so this is really not even plus, a is minus, so a is minus 16 over 17 cos 2t plus b, and b in this case, this b that we found was 4 over 17. This is now plus 4 over 17 sine 2t. Now guys, when they're asking you for the specific solution, even though it's a general, they're really talking specific. When they're asking for the specific solution, they need you to find these two constants. We need to find this a now and this b. How are we going to find that? They gave us 2 more equations. They said that, let's look at that they gave us. They said y of 0 is 0.04. They gave us this equation that y of 0 is 0.04. So that means, guys, we're going to substitute t as 0 and y is 0.04. So let's do that. So y is 0.04, and that's going to be equal to e to the minus 0. E to the minus 0 is 1. So it's 1 times cos of 0. Put that in a calculator, the cos of 0, which is 1. A times 1 is a, plus b sine 0. B sine 0 is 0, so you get 0. Close that out. Minus 16 over 17 times the cosine of 0. The cosine of 0 is 1, plus the sine of 0, which is just 0. So continuing, guys, we're going to say that 0.04 is equal to a minus 16 over 17. So we add 16 over 17 to both sides to get a is equal to 0.04 plus 16 over 17, and I get 0.981. That's the value for that a. All right, so we'll find a. Next we need to do is find b. So we need another equation to find b. Let's look at the next equation they give us. They tell us y double prime of 0 is 0. Oh boy. So we're gonna have to differentiate this. We're gonna have to differentiate this equation for y double prime. Let me use black. So y double prime, I'm gonna write it as y prime is equal to, when I'm differentiating this, I keep the first times the derivative of the second. Differentiating this, I'm going to get, differentiating that I will get, differentiate cos, I get minus sine, so that's minus 2a sine 2t, plus, when I differentiate sine, I get cos, so I get 2b cos 2t. All right, that's what I get when I differentiate that, plus keep the second now, which is all of this, keeping the second times the derivative of the first. When I differentiate the first, I just get minus e to the minus t times all of that again, a cos 2t plus b sine 2t. Good. Now we get minus, when I differentiate cos 2t, differentiate cos, I get minus sine. Now 2 times 16 over 17 times 2, that's minus 32, but it's times minus 2, so that's just plus 32 now over 17 times the cosine times the sine of 2t, sorry. When I differentiate cos, I get minus sine, plus, I differentiate sine, I get cos, so I get plus 8 over 17 times the cos of 2t. Good. Now y double prime of 0 is 0. Finally, we're almost finished. Y double prime of 0 is 0. So when y double prime is 0, we're getting 0 is equal to e to the minus 0 is 1 times the sine of 0 is 0. The cos of 0 is 1. So I get plus 2b plus e to the minus 0. That's 1. So I get minus 1 here. This part becomes minus 1. Minus 1 times the cosine of 0 is 1, and I already know what a is. A is 0.98, so I'm going to write 0.981. Close that bracket. Sine of 0 is 0. Then I get plus 8 over 17. So I'm going to transpose for A now. Transpose for B now. So transposing for B. What was this as a decimal again? I'm not going to write this as a fraction because I think we can give the answer as a fraction. 16 over 17 plus 0.04. That's 417 over 425. 417 over 425. I just want to give the answers of everything in terms of fraction. I don't like decimal and fractions. So now, in this second equation, I am getting that 2b is equal to, bring over these now, minus 0.981 plus 8 over 17, and I bring that over, so working this out now, then dividing it by 2, minus 0.981, 417 over 425 times minus 1 plus 8 over 17 divided by 2. I get 217 over 850. That's B. 217 over 850. And now you finish. Now when you finish, you can tell them that so y is equal to, this is the general solution now, or more so the specific solution, e to the minus t times 417 over 425 times the cos of 2t plus b plus 217 over 850 times the sine of 2t minus 16 over 17 cos 2t plus 4 over 17 sine 2t. Nice and easy, soft. So this is the solution for this paper. All right, I know it seems lengthy. You just have to practice. I know it took a good while, some 3.5 hours, but the more you practice, the less time it will take. And all the best prepping for your exam. You all will do really well. Just remember to subscribe to the channel. Please help the channel to grow. Thank you. All the best prepping for your exam.